Hi, good morning. It's Tina. I'm back to give you an update on how I'm getting on with the Starch Solution. I'm just entering, I guess, almost day. Let's have about week 3. And the update is that after 2 weeks, I did jump on the scales and I've managed to lose 4.5 pounds. And that's not too bad, is it? Considering I've been eating potatoes, and it's not too bad. So what I thought I'd do today is just give you a quick sort of rundown of the kind of things that I'm eating. You might have bought the book and halfway read it, or just skip straight through to the recipes, which is what I did initially. But the kind of things that I'm eating is not weird freaky stuff, and there's plenty of it. So let's look at my breakfast. Start with, I tend to have oats because you can have a big bowl of oats. I don't weigh it out. I have about a cupful, so like a teacupful, and then I tend to make that with a mix of water and a little bit of oat milk. I like to add some turmeric to it because that's good for you, and I also like to add a bit of seaweed salt. Sounds a bit weird, but I do like salt as opposed to sugar with my porridge, and the seaweed salt just adds a little bit to it. What do I have then? I have fruit. I tend to put on some bananas, blueberries, plums, whatever I've got available really, and that tends to fill you up quite nice because you're not sort of having a small bowl full, and there's no sugar involved in mine except for the fruit sugar, and that does fill me up quite well. Other things I could have is we did have a hot day. I can just about remember it, and I didn't really want anything to eat, which sounds amazing, but something had to be had. So I made myself a smoothie. So with that as an opportunity to get a bit of veg in, I had half a cucumber, I had some spinach, and I put that in the blender with a frozen banana, an apple, and some blueberries, bit of water, bit of oat milk to make it a little bit creamy, and that was really nice, really refreshing, nice and cold. What else have I had? Homemade beans on toast. So get your tin of beans, as in ordinary beans, like your borlotti beans or kidney beans, and then just make sort of like a tomatoey sauce with it. Add in some smoked paprika, and some people have a little bit of maple syrup, but I'm not one for really sweet things, so I don't tend to put that in. And then have that on wholemeal toast. That's quite filling. Then we get to lunchtime. This is all about food, so obviously I'm liking talking about this. So for lunchtime, I tend to play it safe and have a jacket potato, because jacket potato is easy if you've got a microwave. Obviously, if you haven't, it's not so easy. It's a bit more time consuming and a bit of planning. But I'll have 2 jacket potatoes and a salad. I hate salad. I loathe salad. I despise salad. But you've got to get your veg in, so I'll have a big plate of salad. And if I have some fruity balsamic vinegar on top of that, makes it kind of edible. What else do I have for lunch? I could have a sweet potato. That makes it a bit different. And have some beans on that. Again, either my homemade beans or just ordinary beans out of a tin. Or you could have some fat-free hummus on top. Again, with salad or some other vegetables, or make a soup, make a nice vegetable soup. Certainly in the fact that, you know, we're in July and it feels like October, soup might be a nice option because you know what's gone in it. It's not like a bought soup, so you know not to add too much salt and not too many additives. And obviously just don't, we usually do a soup where I certainly would fry off my onions and garlic and bits first. You don't need to. Just throw it all in with some water and cook it down, and honestly, you really don't notice the difference as long as you've got lots of spices and all in with it. For supper, I'm a curry freak, so I tend to make curry quite often, a vegetable curry. Put beans in it, have that with brown rice. Dal, again, I suppose it's a variation on the theme, isn't it? It's like just a curry made with red lentils. That's very nice. I'll have that with broccoli. What else would I have that with? I might have it with some spinach. I do like to have a jacket potato again, with mushrooms on top. I'll tell you what I do is I cook my mushrooms, saute the mushrooms in water instead of oil, and then put some onions in, saute that down as well, put in some spinach, and just let it all cook down. Lots of pepper, a few bits of spices in that, and put that on top of your jacket potato, and that's really tasty. I've made a ratatouille. ratatouille, so you've got lots of veg in that. And I've done that with lemon roast potatoes. So again, your potatoes, you don't use any fat, but they do cook all right. Boil them first and shake them up a bit, and then just put them in your hot oven as you would anyway, and they do crisp up. What do I have for pudding? I'm not really that into puddings, but I'll have something like brown rice pudding that I've homemade. There's a thing called, what they call it, an ice cream. So you put your bananas in the freezer and freeze them down, and then put them in your blender with a little bit of oat milk just to get it going. And it just comes out like ice cream. And really, you're just eating a banana, but you think you're having ice cream. So that's good. And you can put any fruit you like, any frozen fruit you like in that. So that would work. So that's kind of, yeah, what I would have for my pudding. Snacks, now that's the most important bit. Now normally crisps followed by crisps, but on this one I can't have crisps. But if you really thinly slice a potato and cook it in the microwave, lay it out flat, flat on a bit of paper on top of your plate, flat, and it will come out kind of like a crisp. Put a bit of seasoning on it, but you have to imagine that as a crisp, and that works quite well. Again, you can do your oil-free hummus and have that with veg sticks. I like the hummus, but I'm not so keen on the veg sticks. Actually, it's the kind of thing where you don't fancy it, but once you start going, they taste all right, don't they? Something to eat after all. And fruit. You can eat fruit as your snack. The thing is, though, with this starch solution, because you can have big meals, you don't tend to snack so much. I will put my hands up to snacking. I'm a snacker. I love snacks. But I am quite full, so it is just greed that makes me want to snack. But I will confess, I ate a whole packet of ordinary crisps yesterday. There, I've admitted to you. Right, so I hope you're all getting on well. Let me know if you've got any food ideas, snack ideas, crisp ideas that I could take on board. And let's just keep going and see how we get on with it. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.